Hi everyone, it's Sarah from Plan Sarah Plan, and welcome to my plan with me for December 1st through the 7th. Welcome to my channel, everyone. In this video, I'm going to be working in my dashboard life planner that you see here, and also in my vertical life planner. I'm going to be decorating also in each of those with a sticker kit from my shop that's called Homespun Christmas. And this one is a very bright red and green traditional themed sticker kit that I absolutely love. And it has a bunch of little deco stickers and extras with it. And just the overall vibe of it reminds me of childhood Christmases in my own life. So let's go ahead and get started by decorating the dashboard layout. And while I'm planning, I'm just going to go ahead and talk to you guys. I'm very late getting this week's plan with me out just because I've been swamped with stuff to do. We had Thanksgiving last week and it was a wonderful time. I hope you had a nice Thanksgiving, whether you celebrated with family or friends or by yourself. I hope that you were able to find something that you were thankful for, because to me, gratitude is what makes what we have enough, and that's sort of cliche, but very, very true. Being thankful is the key to being happy. And I've also seen another thing, like what you might consider cliche, that it's not happy people who are grateful, it is grateful people who are happy. And I think that it kind of sums it all up. I absolutely love that saying. So we had a wonderful time. We had some guests over and we had family over, not our whole family, but a big bunch of people. It was a total of 14 if you count 5 little children that were among the group. And my mother was there and she contributed to the meal, and that makes me happy because, you know, she's getting up in years. She's 85 and she is doing very well, but she does less and less cooking and stuff like that does not appeal to her anymore, and it kind of wears her out. So I was just really happy that she wanted to cook, and she didn't cook, but she cut vegetables. We have this tradition where we have in our family blue cheese dip. And I don't know where this recipe originated. I need to ask my mom, but it may have been my grandmother. And it's really just blue cheese that is blended very well with cream cheese, a little Worcestershire sauce, some salt and pepper, and maybe a little bit of milk to thin it out because it's a very thick dip. And you can add milk to your heart's content if you really want it to be a thin dip, but it works better, I think, as a kind of thick cheese dip. And it's great with carrot sticks and celery sticks. So she contributed those carrot sticks and celery sticks. And we had some keto people with us. So we had keto side dishes along with some non-keto side dishes. And it was just a really good time. We had some nice desserts, keto and not keto. And I thought it was so kind for the person who made pumpkin pie. She made a keto version and a non-keto version. I thought that was so nice, so that there was something literally for everyone. And we had a great big turkey, and we roasted the turkey starting at midnight the night before. This is what we always do because we like to wake up to the aroma of the roasting turkey, and we slow roast it all night. And normally we will do this on 275, and the turkey that we got this year was so big, I think we could have cranked it up just a little bit more, we maybe could have done it on 300. But in any event, it was done, it was ready, and we woke up to that nice aroma. And we also had a nice spiral ham. And I love spiral ham, especially for the leftovers and the ham sandwiches. And we have a little bit left over even now. And we made our meal plan for the week, and one of the things we're going to do is make ham salad with the leftover ham and just make sandwiches with it. And but other than that, most of the Thanksgiving food is gone now, and we are eggnog fans, so we will keep the eggnog going. We did start picking up eggnog as soon as it was available in the store. Have you seen those videos where people say, like, after New Year's, it's time to throw away the eggnog that you bought on December 1st? Because I guess some people aren't fans. They just buy it because they think they're supposed to buy it, and they're not really fans of it. But we are genuinely fans. But we thin it out a little bit with milk. Like, I don't like to drink straight eggnog. It's too thick and rich for me. I like to put milk with it to just kind of thin it out. And sprinkle a little nutmeg on it if I'm feeling special and fancy. But other than, I guess, some eggnog and that ham, that's all we have left that is a taste of the holidays in our refrigerator at this moment. And we are going to have even more busyness next week because it's recital week next week. This week has been final exam week with my students. It's been lesson 12, and they are all pretty much ready to perform their recital pieces on December 14th. I have a few who are not quite ready, but we still have over a week to go before they have to perform. So they are committed to practicing and getting things all ready and polished up to perform. But next week will be full of recital related tasks. And so it's going to be another busy one. And when it comes to my Etsy shop, I'm also really busy. That is a big reason why I haven't filmed, is because I ran a sale just for 2 days. It was like Black Friday and Saturday, and there were quite a few orders, and I am trying to get those out without too much of a delay. It's hard to fill orders when they all come in at one time. And so I have been really spending some extra time printing orders and cutting orders and making trips to the post office. And I guess the other thing that is keeping me busy is spending time with the babies. So anytime I am called upon to babysit, I like to do it. And I was able to spend some time with all 3 of the babies this week. And I think I'm going to babysit one more time before the week is over. And, sometimes I'm thinking, I've got so much to do. I'm going to spend this whole day just getting caught up. And then I get a phone call saying, hey, are you available for a few hours to sit with the kids? And I am just always going to say yes to that because they're going to grow up in the blink of an eye. I'm a grandmother, so I saw it happen with my own kids. Yesterday they were babies, and today they are grown men with families of their own. And childhood is such a special little short time that seems when you're in the midst of it to take forever, but it doesn't. And I'm not nearly as worn out as the parents are themselves. And I am just always going to say yes to that opportunity to, as I've said before, get in on the ground floor of building what I pray will be wonderful human beings and people who serve and love God. And so I'm going to do a little bit more babysitting. And we have a birthday brunch planned for Saturday that is for 2 birthdays. I shouldn't say both birthdays, but it is both of the birthdays that have recently passed in our family. But one of the birthday people is sick. So we might, and it's still going to go on my calendar, but we might have to postpone that. And the thing that bums me out the most about possibly postponing it is that we were going to do our family picture during this birthday brunch. And I bought Christmas pajamas for all of the grandbabies and matching pajamas, and also bought them some Christmas outfits. So they may decide when they see the Christmas outfits that they want to dress in that instead of the Christmas PJs for the family picture. But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, because it's not worth all getting together and then everybody getting sick. So we will just postpone it if we have to. But as of right now, it's going to go on my calendar. I don't know if you saw it, but this past Tuesday, I had a video up that's not my usual style of video. It was a collaboration with the Paper and Pen Girl, who's my friend Tamara. And she hosts a collaboration called 25 Days of Planner Tips every year. And it goes from December 1st through December 25th. And then she wraps it all up on the 26th. And sometimes she does a giveaway. I have no idea if she's going to do a giveaway this year. But a few years ago, she actually gave away Apple computers. Her husband, she calls him Mr. Techie. and I believe he had access to some maybe refurbished computers. It was a stunning giveaway. I believe she gave away two. And it was absolutely wonderful. And here's how the giveaway went. I will go ahead and mention it because I enter into this. It was the 5th anniversary of her doing this 25 days of planner tips. So she wanted to do something big, and this was big. So she asked the viewers to make a comment saying who their favorite tip presenter was, because there were 25 different YouTubers who participate in this. And the person who was randomly chosen as the winner of this computer had said that her favorite video was mine. And that meant there was a surprise element of this, that I also received one of those computers. Now, I don't actually have it at the time. My older son, who works in real estate, his computer was really going bad, and he uses the computer a lot for his listings and to look up MLS information and stuff like that. And it was just wonderful timing. I won this computer, and I thought it was a hoax. I thought it was a hoax because I had not paid close attention to what this giveaway was. And I contacted Tamara and I said, "Is this for real?" This person just, the other winner, just sent me a message saying that she won a computer and that I won one too, because she had said that my tip was her favorite tip. And Tamara said, "Sure enough, it is real." And I could not believe it. Can you imagine? This was a big deal. So I gave it to our older son because he really needed it. And that was a godsend. That was just wonderful. And he's using it now. It's wonderful. But I digress. I don't know if she's going to do a giveaway this year or not. I think this is year 8, but it could be 7 or 8. And if she is going to do a giveaway, it will be on the 26th day. So do go back and check then. But let's talk about the memory verse. My memory verse this week is, "Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be satisfied." And that's Matthew chapter 5, verse 6. Earlier this week, I also did a reel, which was about my top 5 gifts for people from Erin Condren. And of course, they're for people, but for kind of anybody is what I meant to say. And if you haven't seen that reel, I will just go ahead and tell you what I chose and why. And then I would love to know if you would have picked something different if you had your top 5. So it's actually 6, but I thought it was catchier to say my top 5 gifts. So I'm going to tell you what my top 6 were. In just a moment, I'll be right back. Okay, so here are the top 6 actually that I chose for my top gifts from Erin Condren. I chose these based on a couple of things, that they would work for a large number of people and also they're affordable. So number 1 was softbound life planners, because those are much less expensive than the coiled life planners. And unless the gift recipient is like a planner holic the way some of us are, it's sure to be a very appreciated gift. In fact, I give my husband planners that I have reviewed often, and he takes them and gives them as gifts at work. And I ordered a few extra softbound life planners because the people at work appreciate those. And so here is a slow motion flyover of the dashboard layout, and I will get back to my top 5 gifts, actually 6 gifts, in a moment, but I want you to just take one last look up close because it was probably hard to see from far away. And we're going to go on over now to the vertical life planner and decorate that one. So number 2 on my top 5 gifts was the personalized notebooks. And I ordered a big stack of these for my friends who get together once a year for a Christmas luncheon. And we always give each other a little something. And we decided last year that we were going to do practical gifts from here on out. And um, I think the whole thing, that idea got started because one of our friends gave us a box opener, and I think it was a slice tool. It's Slice brand. And it was such a handy tool with a ceramic blade on it that I think that made us think, hey, let's just give each other things that we use and we really like that maybe the rest of us don't have. And I love using a notebook at all times for basically all things. And so I just personalized, everybody got the same cover, but I personalized each one with an initial. It was one of those covers that has like an animal print and then a box in the middle, and you have a monogram. So I just put the first letter of their first name as the monogram, and then underneath that you spell out what their name is. So I just got a bunch of those. So personalized notebooks, I think, are always an appreciated gift for like coworkers and friends. I don't know if it's a good neighbor gift or not. I mean, I wouldn't mind if one of my neighbors gave me an Erin Condren notebook, but coworkers and friends, you know, who would probably appreciate one, because the fact that you can personalize the cover just kind of takes it up a notch, and it's already premium paper and a notebook that maybe somebody wouldn't spend the money on themselves for, and if you did it, they would probably really appreciate it. So that was number 2. Number 3, and I might have done these in a different order on the reel. They're not really in any particular order. Number 3 is the new desktop photo calendars. I absolutely love these. And in my reel, I could only show a couple of pictures because I don't like to show the babies' faces on the internet. But pictures that had their backs turned, I used in this reel. But you choose a photo for each month. And instead of a wall calendar, which you could get, a wall calendar is a new thing that Erin Condren has now with photos for each month. But I liked these desk calendars a little bit more, and they were very reasonably priced for the customization that you get with 12 different photos. And they're just adorable. And you actually get 6 cards. So one month is on the front and the next month is on the back. And you just rotate these cards as you go through the year. And you could, at the end of the year, you could actually just cut out the picture and scrapbook it or save it somehow and throw out the calendars if you wanted to. But I love those personalized desk calendars. I think they're called photo desk calendars. They are a great gift. And the next one was the personalized stationery. That one is a great gift, especially for people who don't buy stationery anymore. I think that even people who are younger and have grown up in an age of email and texting still like having their own stationery. And it used to be that when you did a gift registry, when you were getting ready to get married, one of the things that you might register for is some nice letterhead stationery with your new name if you were the lady, or some stationery with the husband and wife's name on the letterhead somehow. That is a traditional gift that has kind of gone out of fashion. And so I really think that it's a nice gift to give people. I think that even though they may have not grown up sending cards and letters as much as we older folks did, they still like this personalized stationery. It's a very, what I said in the reel is that it's very adult, and it's just all done, put together for you with matching envelopes that you get to choose the color that you think would go the best with the design that you chose. And then, of course, you can personalize it with the recipient's name or a sentiment. So personalized stationery, I think, is a great gift, and it's affordable. You get like a set of 20 cards or something, and matching envelopes, and they come with seals as well, envelope seals. So it's a nice set, and they will usually package that in a box of some sort. It used to be that they had a certain kind of box that they put the stationery in, and then they switched over to the sort of box that is like a planner storage box, that kind of slides in and out. So you could keep that part and then just give the stationery to your friend or to your relative or your kids or something. Okay, and what was the next one? Oh, it was the photo art that's framed. Those things are very reasonably priced, and that's why they made the list. Because I have had several things framed, like custom framed at the local frame shop. Whether you go to Michael's or to a small business framer or something, it's expensive to get things framed. And the neat thing about the new framed photos that you can get at Erin Condren is that A, they come in all different sizes. B, they are going to be framed, and you have your choice, I think, of 3 different frames, like a natural wood, a black, or white. And the glass is nice, and the prints are nice. You just upload the photos, and you can either just do a straightforward photo in a frame, or you could choose one of the kind of fun designs like a collage look and upload several photos. And you can actually, on some of them, put a whole lot of text if you want to. So you could put a poem, you could put the lyrics to a song, you could just identify who is in the photos. You really can be creative with those. And they come to you framed and ready to hang with the hardware on the back for hanging. And I really appreciate the convenience of that. And I also appreciate that it is packaged securely, where it's very unlikely to break unless it goes through some severe trauma in the delivery process. It's very well packaged, and it's just ready to hang. And it's extremely affordable. So that definitely made my list. And then if I'm on number 6 now, this one is Sherpa Throws. And this would be probably the most expensive of my top picks. And that's because A, who doesn't like a throw blanket? I mean, unless they just live in the tropics or something and it never gets cool, I think pretty much anybody would appreciate a nice Sherpa throw. It's soft, it's cozy, and you can personalize it with their name. You can even put photos on the blanket. So you could do like a collage of some kind on a Sherpa throw. So I have given those as gifts before, and they are always well received. So I even have one that is in our crib. We have like a little baby room. Side story, the babies never ever sleep in this crib. I had high hopes when we had grandchildren that they would take little naps in this crib, and it just never happened. When they come to our house, they are here on business, and that business is play with us. So it just doesn't happen. But anyway, that is neither here nor there. I have a really pretty Sherpa throw in that crib that matches the bedding in the crib, and it's just so cozy. So if one day, if the children don't grow up into adulthood, and if they can still fit in a crib, maybe one day one of them will actually take a nap in that crib and use that Sherpa throw. Okay, so those were, let's recap because I don't know if I remembered everything. The first one was softbound life planners. That's one. The next one was the personalized notebooks. That's 2. Then it was the photo desk calendars. That's 3. Then personalized stationery. That's 4. 5 was framed photo art, and 6 is Sherpa throws. So yes, I did remember them all. So what are your top 5 gifts? And I'm thinking, just things like what I was saying that would please the most number of people. What would your top 5 be? Would they be the same ones that I picked, or have you? Oh, here's a better question, a more fun question. What do you wish somebody would give you, or what would you like to receive as a gift? It doesn't have to be in my top 5. Just tell me if it was on the EC site, just for the sake of this little activity, stick with the EC site. What do you think that you would like to receive? So that's a fun little thing to think about. I will say that one thing that I was going to put in my top 5, but I had to take out because for some reason they are no longer on the site. I ordered mine, I guess, just in time to get them before either they ran out or for some other reason they took them off the site, is those acrylic photo blocks. I absolutely love those, and they are really a much better price at Erin Condren than they are other places because you can buy like personalized gifts like that at other websites. And I priced them at one point and found that the ones at Erin Condren were definitely the most affordable, and it was by quite a bit. So they have all these photo blocks with different Erin Condren designs, but my favorite is actually just the acrylic photo block that you put your own photo and that's it. I don't like to add any other embellishment to it, but you could add an initial. But I just like to put a photo in that photo block, and it kind of gives it a three-dimensional look. Not exactly, but sort of. It gives it a it helps it pop. The photo just looks special and nice in the photo block, and you can set it on a desk or on an end table. And so I ordered a couple of those, and it was my plan to include those in my top 5. But right before I finished my top 5 list and filming it, I looked online just to see what the actual name of those was, and they weren't on the site anymore. So I substituted another item. I can't remember which thing I think it was the personalized stationery that I pulled in place of the photo blocks, but really the personalized stationery might even appeal to more people for all I know. But that the photo blocks, that's just a little bit of trivia there for you, was going to be in my top gifts list, but they're just not on the site right now. I hope they come back. I hope they're just out of stock. So I'm actually getting hungry right now, and it reminds me that I was going to talk to you about a recipe that I found on YouTube, and I can't remember the name of this YouTuber, but she's a young girl, and it's like called whatever her name is, Her Kitchen is the name of the channel, but I can't remember what it is. And all of her recipes are really fast and easy, and she does use a lot of things like canned items or not pre-made all the way items, but convenience sort of items. So it's not like recipes where you are going to take apples and slice them up and cook them and then put them in an apple pie. It's more like you're going to buy apple pie filling and use it for one of her recipes. But the one recipe of hers that I tried that was actually really good was pumpkin cheesecake dump cake, sort of. So and I made this before Thanksgiving, and all you need is like a can of pumpkin and the the pre-made cheesecake stuff that comes in a tub that's like, it's shaped like a Cool Whip tub, but it's not made by Cool Whip. It's made by Philadelphia cream cheese. You can get no bake cheesecake filling just ready to go. So you get one of those tubs, and you also have a few eggs. This is not the exact recipe, but I just want to kind of give you a summary of how easy it was. And some pumpkin pie spice, or you can do your own pumpkin pie spice, but they actually just make a can of pumpkin pie spice, which would basically just be cinnamon and cloves and ginger perhaps and nutmeg, and the pumpkin pie spice just already has that all blended for you. and then a spice cake mix. So here's what you do. You mix up the pumpkin, the can of pumpkin, the large can of pumpkin, with a couple of eggs and that pumpkin pie spice. And you mix that up really good. And you grease a 9 by 13 inch baking dish. And then you pour the pumpkin mix into that. Then you take scoops of the cheesecake filling and you just put, let's say, 9 scoops of that around that pumpkin pie layer that you've put in. And you sort of swirl it around a little bit, but the swirling is difficult to do because the cheesecake filling is pretty thick. And if it's cold, it's not going to spread out very well. But what you're going for is kind of a marbleized texture. So you kind of break up those dollops of cheesecake filling that you put in there and sort of try to marbleize it a little bit with the pumpkin pie filling. You don't mix it really well. You just kind of, I don't know, marble. We'll just say marble. You want a marbleized look. Then you take this spice cake mix and you sprinkle it over the top of this cake mixture, spread it out, and then you take a stick of butter and cut a bunch of little squares that are about 1/8 of an inch thick. And you just arrange those little squares of butter on top of the cake mix. And you bake it at, I believe it was 375 for something like 35 minutes and let it cool. And then you just scoop it out and serve it with whipped cream, or you could serve it with ice cream. But I think since it tastes like pumpkin pie or pumpkin cheesecake, it's better with a like a squirt of ready whipped cream. So I just wanted to tell you about that because I don't think I mentioned it when I was talking about like favorite Thanksgiving recipes. And I don't know if this beats pumpkin pie because I am a fan of pumpkin pie, but it was kind of a fun alternative to the usual pumpkin pie. So have you guys put up your Christmas trees yet? I bet at least half of you have because if if my audience is sort of like a sampling from my neighborhood, about half of the people have. And I wanted to have our Christmas trees up in time for this birthday brunch that we're going to have in case we do the family picture. And, now since one of the birthday people is sick, we may not end up having it, and then I'll have more time. But we don't have our trees up. And I think there was a tree saga last year that I talked to you guys about where we bought these pencil thin trees. They're just called pencil trees, 2 of them, one for the dining room, one for the living room, and they were pre-lit. And big chunks of the lights just went dead. And then one of you suggested a tool that you could get to kind of fix a string of lights. And I could tell that I bought that tool. It was very inexpensive. And I could tell that it was doing something, but it did not fix the string of lights. So I ended up finding, like, even though it's pre-lit, that it's still basically strings of lights that you can unplug and take out. So I located the specific string that was out, took it out, and then replaced it with other lights. And then no sooner had I done that than another chunk went out. So we still have these. Part of me wants to just throw these away and go get new trees. But I went ahead and just ordered 2 boxes of 300 lights. And you may remember this from last year. These trees are so thin that we can actually carry them down to the basement after Christmas and leave all of the decorations on them. Say what you will, but this is a very easy way to just put up your Christmas tree each year without getting it out of the box and putting it back in the box and all that. And even the ornaments, you don't have to put them back in the box. And we have the luxury of space because we have a big basement where we can take the Christmas trees. So having said that, I have to take all of these ornaments off in order to put all of the new lights on and take all of the old lights off. So that's one thing I was thinking about doing this weekend, but I am going to be babysitting and I probably won't get to it, but I would like to very soon. And it would be fantastic if I got it done while there's snow on the ground. Because a white Christmas is the best kind of Christmas, right? At least in storybook land and in movie land, where I have images of a white Christmas being the most perfect, the most quaint. So we do have snow on the ground right now. It snowed this morning and it was a beautiful snow. You know how some snows are just kind of slushy? This was a beautiful snow. And not only was it a beautiful snow, it didn't even cause the roads to be difficult. It just made the trees beautiful, the land, the houses, the rooftops beautiful, but all of the roads were travelable, at least after a couple of hours. And I was able to go visit my mom and help her with some things, to get her some groceries and stuff like that. But how nice it would be to have all of your Christmas lights and your Christmas decorations up when there's snow on the ground, or even better, when it's snowing. And then you turn on the Christmas carols and you listen to the Christmas music while the snow is falling, and you look at the Christmas lights and you make a cup of hot chocolate or you have some eggnog. That's really fun in my book. Okay, so we're about to wrap this up. This kit has been called Homeschool. This kit is Homespun Christmas, and here's a slow motion flyover of the vertical layout for you. And if you want to buy this from my shop, you can use the discount PSP YouTube 15 for 15% off. What I like to do at the end of my weekly plan with me's is say a prayer, and I invite you to join me if you'd like to. Lord God, maker of heaven and earth, we bow down before you in loving adoration as we celebrate and honor the holy and humble birth of our Savior, Redeemer, and friend, Jesus Christ. He is so much more than a baby born in a stable and lain in a manger wrapped in swaddling cloths. He's the Word made flesh, God in human form, living among us. Thank you for sending us Jesus. Thank you for loving us so much. As we go through the remembrances of the Advent season, quicken in us a desire to know you more and to serve you gladly. Prosper our families in righteousness. Mend our broken lives and make them of use to you. Give us hope and guide us along the path of everlasting love and perfect peace. You have been so patient with us. Make us patient with others. You love us despite our ugliest failings. Help us to love our families just as generously. You have forgiven us, so we must also forgive. O come, Emmanuel. Hasten the day when all may know that you are Lord. Amen. Well, that's going to do it for this weekly plan with me. And here's one last look at the vertical and one last look at the dashboard. And I think they both have parts of them that I really like more than the other, but I'm leaning overall toward this one because of this functional space and the ability to log memories and happy things that happen along the week. I'm just a big fan of this page, as I've said many times before. But what is your favorite, vertical or dashboard this week? In any event, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.